Alrighty, well I guess, so I need 3 agency tellies, meaning that 40 minutes times 3 agency tellies is 120. We're here for 2 hours. 2 hours, just me doing 3 different things. 40 minutes of vocabulary.com, revising an essay, and SAT practice. Let's go. Timer. So we're gonna do 40 minutes. 8. So pine means convert, function, languish, brush. Pine? Dear Lord, isn't that just like a tree? Just gonna guess on this one. I don't even know what languish means. It's become pitiful or weak because you're sick, in love, or struck somewhere. A prisoner might languish in jail, longing for her freedom. Well, the audio sounds like it's from a British guy, so it's cool. Its future prospects are far more intriguing than our past apprehensions about it. In this sentence, apprehensions means misgivings, I'll say misgivings. Yeah, makes no sense. Speculation. That was beautiful. Speculation means an exchange of views on topic, a message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. Yeah, that sounds correct. Yeah. Said he intended to include the cave of patriarchs, the Hebron shrine by the Jews, Muslims, and Christians, and burial site of Abraham. I have seen this word somewhere, not in the Bible, which disappoints me. Not prolonged, venerated. Yeah, because it's definitely not discouraged by this group or this group. Or this group, yeah, all 3 groups, yeah, none of them. And they're definitely not gonna let it collapse either. The only one who's prolonging the situation is the UN. The founder means to founder means to that was a pure guess. The person who creates an organization is company. Okay, that makes sense. Founder is also a verb meaning fail miserably. that's I'm not sure if that's ironic or but as rulers are apt to discover, she also finds herself horribly confined. No? Are you sure? I mean, I guess. Yeah. Likely. That's not it. Okay. Studied means preferable, momentum, deliberate? Yeah, because if you studied something, you deliberately went into the effort of knowing beforehand. There were some uncomfortable looks around the table, as if nobody likes to think about people getting fired. Hey, there was no complex meaning to that. I learned what a table is. The opposite of exalt. Exalt? I can't even use context clues for this thing. No. Deflect. That was the least of my expectations, but I probably should have gone with that one because it was the one that makes the least sense. You might like your manager, but if you exalt her, that means you really put her on a pedestal and treat her like royalty. Eh? To exalt is to hold or raise someone up to a high position or status. Okay. The attack on the CIA was a huge intelligence failure and will pile pressure on the United States to begin high-profile militants to kill high-profile militants based along the Afghani-Pakistan frontier. Yeah. Hey, finished the round. What it? No, I learned nothing. Apparently. An inquiry into the loans delayed by Professor Sir Dellen Hopkin, which reported in December complained of conspicuous failures. In this sentence, conspicuous, I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Conspicuous. Yeah. I obey power. Reference right here. Parish means a local church community. Yeah. I've seen Patriot. Mel Gibson in it. He squired her around, and they often. Mother expressed her by violently turning away. Indignation. Hey, I got a fire shaking around this. Contend means to not condom sound. Correspond. I don't want to break my streak. Conceive. No. Okay. Wait, there's also. But how do you cope with it? Like, this correspond doesn't make any more sense either. So, can I really go back? No, I can't go back. The happy mood of the afternoon was rapidly dissolving in apprehension. And unease, yes. As the blink of peoples move, I let myself be taken away by the human current. Okay, we've studied none of these words, but I know for a fact that I've seen that word before, particularly on the site. Throng. A throng. I hate this word so much because it just doesn't make any sense. Hey Diana, have you ever been to a throng? Have you ever been to a throng? A throng is a crowd of people or animals, Diana.
Oh, then because yeah, I've been in between a throng, over a throng, under a throng.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All this, and I haven't even touched on the question of whether or not. Give me a second. Oh no, I need that. Word the English link. Wrong. There we go. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's how throng fits in there. That's great. In this sentence, appeal means and all this, and I haven't been able to touch on question the mass appeal should count. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one makes the most sense, especially if you're referring to mass appeal. Hey, I mastered an A word. Pine means to. Completely forgot what pine meant. Yearn. A. If you're texting your ex-boyfriend over 50 times a day, there's a pretty good chance that you still pine for him. Okay. Why blank all heroes to the ranks of gods? Exalt. Hey, I learned the word appeal. We are done with appeal. The word speculation means it has been formed by conjecturing. Yeah, makes no sense. Although I need to find out what conjecturing means, but I can't copy paste. Which of the following would most likely venerate? Oh, I haven't seen this word before. I have, but I don't know. Oh. Would one most... I completely misread that. Thought venerate was like... Well, it is a verb, but... Never mind. Brave fighters... Firefighters... We venerate heroes. Hit Hertho. Heat Hertho. Sounds Japanese. Thanks. Up to this point until the present time. Use the adverb he. We are describing a state or circumstance that existed up until now. If you find a heat hertho undiscovered tonal in your cello, you're the first one to discover it. Up to this point, how would you use that word? In one upstairs gallery, a small pious painting of Jesus' head, lightly bearing the weight of the cross, is set on a small table just the side of wild abduction scene, Titans, Europa. Pious. Piety? Pious and piety are similar, right? Yeah. It's piety, you know, like, it's related to religion, that's all I know. External, intelligent, narrative, external, hesitant, I want to say it's hesitant, I think it's like the opposite. Let's try it. No, yeah. False. Wait, what do you mean intelligent? Make any goddamn sense. Tasteful means convenient. Appropriate. Convenient. Tasteful things are elegant, appropriate, or aesthetically pleasing. You may. How is it like? What stretch do you have to make to try to associate tasteful with appropriate? Like, just because something is tasteful doesn't mean it's appropriate, particularly for the situation. It's like, tiramisu may be tasteful, but not while I'm like at a funeral. It's not appropriate, but it is very tasteful. The site's rigged. Speaking about rigged, its election campaign has homed in on a struggling middle class. In this sentence, homed in means oh, you know what homed in means?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
No.
No.
But you said strangling.
Strong. Yes, I did actually. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Struggling.
No, what does the other thing mean?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, homed in.
Okay, as always, pronouncing things incorrectly.
It means like, it means like you got. Let me see. The election campaign has homed in on a struggling middle class. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it was that one.
Yeah.
Because in an election campaign, you never actually engage in deep thought, consideration, or debate.
No.
You just fight people to the death.
Homed in refers to the like navigation system where it goes.
Oh my god, I knew that. Wait, damn it. I'm not playing Heroes and Generals. Damn it. Wish I were. My fingers played among the herbs in my basket. Rosemary, blank, the root of... Okay, rue, silica. It's not quarks. Alright, I've played enough Minecraft to know that it's not that. It's definitely not an animal. Rue. It sounded like silicon, so I didn't trust it. Rue is to feel regret or remorse or something. Yeah, but these are referring to like nouns. So is rue like also? To rue is to feel okay, but is it a noun? There we go. European strong scented permeable herb, but we ain't European. To rue is to feel regret or remorse or something. Quick question, you know the name of the little black girl in the first Hunger Games? What was her name?
Rue.
Oh, so is that that was the entire connection? Because like rue means to feel regret or remorse.
I guess.
That's pretty cool. Guess you learn something new every day, Anna. But in this case, I'm learning like 100 things in 40 minutes.
But that's just the theory.
Games here. Thanks for watching. Which of the following would someone have to contend with? As I look at an obedient pet, there's like a cat next to my leg. That's nice. A disability. You have to contend with it. Now, when we throw my carefully designed harvesting plan out the window, Now is when we throw my... I skip words, I don't know why. Now is when we throw my carefully designed harvesting plan out the window, Kyle. And pick up as hard as we can to get the fruit to the processor. Laments. Yes, because whenever you spend time on a plan that gets rejected, you lament. You finished this round. I've learned no words. The most I learned was speculation. That's cool. Okay, we gotta do another 20 minutes of vocab.com and then we switch on to the revision of pet peeve essay. You're gonna like my pet peeve essay.
Get a pet, call it peeve.
And then kick it.
Whoa.
And
Whoa. Whoa.
and there are questions about the nature of communion, perhaps the most central. Right, because raid is whenever the FBI decides to spend more than 2 seconds looking into the Catholic Church. Ruin is what happens after the raid happens. Reed, I don't know what that is. What is reed? Reed is a woody plant with long, slender leaves. That's where I've seen that before. Skyrim. Reed. Rite. A rite is a ceremony or an... Okay, so that makes sense. Rite, ritual. Is that ritual rite? Yeah. Pine means to... Okay, okay, language. You just unlocked the following achievement. Streak. What? London, starving, terror-stricken, and haunted continually by an apprehension too was the state of restless both night and day. Ah, it's like modern London. It's like we can't even defend yourself, because even knives are banned. The opposite of conspicuous is conspicuous is like kind of like I find that sus.
Conscientious? Conspicuous? Yeah.
So
it's like unnoticeable. It could be... It could be shallow in the sense that...
Well, I mean, because this is asking the opposite of, so I, like... Although you don't have, like, a wholehearted feel... I'm gonna go with unnoticeable. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, so, like, the conspicuous is, like, a way of saying that that's visually sus.
Oh.
Or is it? I don't know. I'm asking.
I'm confused.
Conspicuous. To look...
Something that stands out so much you notice it right away. What?
I guess that makes sense. Like, for example, my nose is rather conspicuous.
For example, look at my nose today.
Wonderful.
Great. Matching noses.
If you're really too busy to cook, a box of food and a recipe card aren't enough to put the dinner on the table. We're learning about the word table, and it's 93%.
We're learning, kids. We out here. We're learning.
Exalt.
What's air?
Exalt is... Damn. No. I know what this is. So exalt is to put something on a pedestal.
Damn.
So,
Why
dampen.
Does it go from one to Oxford?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's that.
Obsceniate.
Abstiniate.
Abstiniate?
Mm-hmm.
Abstiniate. Means I don't,
You don't know what abstiniate?
Oh, I guessed it. Repentant. When someone is beyond stubborn, you use the word abstinent instead of. You use the word instabient instead. You abstinent old mule, get out of my way. Ha. Abstinent. A tension. The old gentry had been rich landowners and had no need to exploit the peasants on such scale. A history of China, yes. You can't disassociate China with peasants. In the sentence, exploit means to overwork. Whether it be the land, the people, or the IRS. He keeps the word simple, but still his blank is full of warmth, sensation, and delight. His duel is full of warmth, sensation, resolve. His resolve is full of function. It wouldn't be resolve. I've never heard of prose. What's a prose? Prose is so-called ordinary writing made up of sentences or paragraphs without any metrical or rhythm or structure. So like an essay that you would write in freshman year. Or the ones I write for Spanish now. Okay. Contrary to stereotypes, her makeup is very tasteful and light. Distinctive. It was appropriate last time, so I'm just assuming it's the same thing. You finished this round, nice. Ooh, we got 13 minutes left. What might a person home in on? A lovely house, a vast desert? Well, if you're the US, it's a vast desert. If you're a reasonable person, it's an easy target. How many political jokes can I make throughout this whole thing? We live in a world awash in the product placement and marketing tie-ins. When brands blink onto pop culture phenomenon with gusto in the hopes of boosting sales. Snarl? Glom. To figuratively grab or seize something is to glom onto it. Wait a second. Conglomerate. A number of different things or parts that are put or grouped together to form a whole but remain distinctive entities. Oh, okay, that makes so much sense. I was like, okay, this conglomerate. It's a conglomerate of things. Wonderful. But part of D's approval is his sympathy for his character, and his generous tendency to blank them, no matter how foolish or contemptible with certain nobility. And dough. Once, so they say, he had to get home by swimming across a river in which there was a large and hungry pike. Are you sure? A large. Well, I know what a pike is. I've played Total War Rome 2 before. And other Total War games, but like... I also know what the phalanx is, but I never knew it was an actual animal. But as rulers are apt to discover, she also, likely. Then with surprising speed, some think that oh, okay. Yeah, that's... We are 50% done with heat hetero. Did I pronounce it right? Heat hetero. Ooh. Heat hetero. Contend means to cope, I guess. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now, given the example. But in a way that could potentially confound the surrounding members of the control group, in some cases received aid from other organizations. Cadets? Are you sure? Oh, I think I skipped over the word findings. Fair enough. You are a stern lord and resolute, she said, and thus do men win renown. The sentence resolute. And thus do men win renown. Pleasant? It's just... what's a stalwart? Oh, stalwart. To be a stalwart is to be loyal, no matter what, like your friend who remains devoted fan of an actor because she's admired since childhood, even though, like if the last time... That was the last time the guy made a decent movie? Okay. Pine means to... Huh. Ache. Yeah. Guess you're aching for something. You're finishing this round. Prejudice means to criticize harshly. No? Disadvantage by... Oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Discern means to... Label? No? I've heard that word before, I just don't know what it means. So, make it up, figure it out, something like that. She intimidated. See... Intimate. Being close. A small restaurant is called intimate because you're sitting close to other people, and your best friends are considered your intimate. Huh. But I don't know how that's implied as a possibility. I wasn't really from Roxville, and I wasn't really from Bethesda. There was no sense of place, just shopping centers and horrible traffic up and down the pike. Corridor? Are you sure? Throughway? No? Throughway? Huh. I guess it's just a nickname for that thing. Yeah. Prose means... Oh, we got 5 minutes, okay. Prose means ordinary writing as distinguished from verse, a formal charge of wrongdoings. Prose. Prose is so-called ordinary writing. Oh, I forgot we studied this one. Ordinary writing. Yeah, prose is my Spanish essays. The American World #2. The top draw at Torrey Pines this week. And the conspicuous. Okay. With that, she erupted into pearls of laughter touched with rue. Okay. Intelligent, I suppose. Still don't know how that makes sense. He said these things with a slight grin, knowing that they would confound me as I moved them until our next meeting. Baffled? Yeah, that makes most sense. Because you're still like coping with it. Home den. Yes. A Fire Street. I'm really close with conspicuous. Yes. 66%. Tasteful. Appropriate, I suppose. He awaited each stroke with impatience, and he did not know why, apprehension. Dread. She was white to the lips, but she looked resolute. In this sentence, resolute means unhealthy, undaunted. Oh, it's from Harry. Oh, I haven't read those books in such a long time. Compassionate. Undaunted. What does that mean? If you're undaunted, you're not afraid or intimidated. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Contend means to invent, construct, adjourn. No? Most scientists do not want to deal with the raw station data. They would rather deal with a derived product. Yes. Given the context clues. No? Wait, yeah. Any presumption of hostilities would be uncalled for and may prejudice other attempts on resolving military alliance in the region, he said. Prejudice. What? Conspicuous. Conspicuous. know it's this word. I just don't know how to spell it. Conspicu. 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 Oh, it's UOU. Oh, okay. Well, that's the timer for the 40 minutes. That means we are done with vocabulary.com, meaning that we are moving on to the next tally.